Most software waits for you. You click a button, you type a command, you press enter. ClawdBot doesn't. It wakes up, it watches, and sometimes it decides to act before you even know there's a problem. And that's why people are either calling it the future of work or a terrible idea. Let's talk about it. ClawdBot isn't just another AI tool, it's a shift in how software behaves. At a glance, ClawdBot looks simple. It's an open source AI agent that runs on your computer or a server. You connect it to things you care about, your files, your code, your notes, maybe a chat app like Telegram, and it stays on 24/7. But here's the important part. Unlike ChatGPT, ClawdBot doesn't wait for a prompt. It keeps context. It remembers what happened yesterday. And it keeps looping through the same question over and over again. Some folks call ClawdBot a 24/7 AI employee. Others call it ChatGPT with pseudo access. And to understand why, it helps to think about how ClawdBot actually works in human terms. At its core, ClawdBot lives in a loop. It looks at information. It thinks about it using an AI model, and then it decides whether to take an action. That action might be harmless, like summarizing new research, organizing notes, or reminding you about something you forgot. Or it might be running commands, changing files, or making decisions you didn't explicitly approve in that moment. That's where the power is. Now, before we go any further, let's ground this in reality, because yes, you can actually run this on your own machine. Installing ClawdBot isn't magic. It's software. You need a computer, an internet connection, and about 10 minutes of patience. You start by typing npm install -g OpenClaw. Just make sure you already have Node.js installed on your computer. The installation might take a minute, so give it a bit of time. Once OpenClaw is installed, the next step is onboarding. This is where you set it up for your machine. When prompted, I'll say yes, then choose Quick Start. For the provider, I'll select OpenRouter since it gives you access to a wide range of models to choose from. Next, you'll enter your API key. After that, pick the model you prefer. For me, the lowest cost option right now is DeepSeek V 3.2, but you can choose whatever fits your needs. I'll also integrate it with Telegram, though you're free to pick any of the other options. To get a Telegram bot token, open Telegram and message botfather with the command newbot. Follow the prompts, choose a name for your bot, then copy the token it gives you and paste it back into the terminal. For this next option, I'll choose no because we want to grab skills from ClawHub later. We'll skip that for now and come back to it. Once onboarding is complete, we'll install extensions for OpenClaw to unlock useful skills, things like integrations with Google Tasks, Google Calendar, and many other apps. After ClawHub is installed, we'll add the browser agent by typing ClawHub install agent-browser. In this example, we're going to build a simple job hunter that pulls listings from Seek and sends them directly to Telegram. Now comes the most important part. We want ClawdBot to check the latest job postings from Seek and generate a cover letter for us every 12 hours. But how does ClawdBot know what to do and when to do it? Think of ClawdBot like a humanoid robot. If you don't program it, it just stands there doing nothing. It's the same idea here. There are a few key files you need to understand when running ClawdBot. These files live in root OpenClaw on Linux or in your user folder on Windows. The first file is OpenClaw.json. This is basically the brainstem. It's the only file that isn't written in Markdown because it handles the hard settings, your API keys, database connections, and how often your automations run. If this file breaks, the lights are off. Inside this directory, there's a folder called Workspace, and that's where most of the important files live. First is identity.md. This defines who your ClawdBot is supposed to be. Is it a sarcastic coder, a formal researcher? You decide that here. Next is soul.md. This is the why. It defines the agent's ethics and logic. Things like always verify code before running it. If identity is the personality, soul is the character. Then there's user.md. This is where you live. It tells the AI who you are, your tech stack, your goals, and your preferences, so you don't have to repeat yourself every time. Pair that with tools.md, which acts like a skill manual. It tells the AI exactly what it's allowed to do, from searching the web to running terminal commands. Now for automation, heartbeat.md is your agent's recurring to-do list. This is perfect for things like checking job boards or monitoring logs on a schedule. And bootstrap.md, that's the wake up routine. It runs every time the system starts just to make sure everything is ready to go. For our use case, we only need to modify heartbeat.md. Open it with your favorite editor and paste in the structure you want. Save the file, then open OpenClaw JSON and add one line so ClawdBot knows when it should execute the task. Finally, restart the gateway by typing OpenClaw gateway restart. Go back to Telegram, and once the automation starts, it will send the job posting along with a nicely written cover letter. There are other incredibly useful things like monitoring changes, researching topics over time, or keeping track of complex systems that humans are bad at watching continuously. But it's a terrible idea for things that are irreversible. At the end of the day, ClawdBot isn't intelligent. It doesn't understand consequences. It doesn't feel regret. It doesn't know when it's wrong. So is ClawdBot the future? Yeah, probably.
Code on the screen begins to fade. Another build, another day's made.